We back with the full auto Nervier, and it seems our B-side overlords have decided once again to make Nerve the hardest boss. First they did minus 5% HP burn and we beat that. Then they figured minus 90% evasion would stop us. This time, minus 15% HP per second to counters. And I'm going to be real with you guys, as far as free to play and low budget players go, this sucks. But I do have a fully farmable team for you as far as units go, but you are going to need some decent gear for this. I also do have a team for those who want to push mods and get a higher score. So let's go ahead and check them out. Alright, so we're starting off with a Hilde here. Funny enough, even though she's a counter, she can live this. All we need is acolytes on the field and keep her nice and healthy for the most part. There is a chance she can die, but she usually at that point in time, you have enough DP, she redeploys, shields your entire team, so they're protected anyways, and then she rushes back up to the front. Now we're trying to pull out every trick in the book here. So we're using Blue Bridge to summon the boys, which will sit there and help us not only reduce the damage on the rest of our team because we have some extra defenders here, but we bring in some extra DPS to try and kill this stupid tower that just absolutely ruins every run ever. Because it blinds your entire team and that's just no fun. And I did try some air units out, Blacktail and Sparrow. They just really don't do anything against that. And TB is probably the best bet, but that's like 2,500 hit points, and I don't think any free-to-play player wants to sit there and pick that up. I don't think pretty much anybody wants to spend that. So we're gonna sit there and rely on Jane here. Luckily, Jane is only attacks ground units, so she's just going to stick to the boss. She may get knocked back and focus some of the defenders, but that's okay. She has sure crit on her passive and her skill, I believe. So she's going to be doing some massive damage to the boss. Now, granted, if you don't have the reactor, that's fine. It's actually better not to have a reactor and only have a level 4 skill and not actually max the skill. It's actually a DPS loss to increase the skill to max, but for PvP, the reactor's actually not awful. So that's why I'm using a reactor Jane here. But as you can see, she's just sitting there pounding on the boss, which is great here. Now, key thing to note is that you need to at least kill by 40 seconds in order to get minimum score here. So if you get too close to that, just go ahead and reset. It is a lot of RNG in this fight. And as you can see, like I said, Jane pulling out the most damage, and then Rivet in here clearing out as much as she can. Gear for this team, I have a Hilde on full CDR and tag set. Want her spamming shields as much as possible. Rivet I have on Blaze with as much anti whatever I can fit on her. I think I do. Yeah, I did Defender on her because I want her taking out the ads quick as possible. Acolytes I just have on a standard A speed. Nothing really special about this. They just need a PP as fast as possible. Same for OAR. They're on Blaze, anti-defender. It's like some anti-striker subs as well. Graska got full tank so it doesn't die. It stays alive and keeps death breaking everything. Jane I have on my best damage gear I can possibly afford to put on her. This is kind of wild, really nice. Not expecting most people to have this, but the quality of the other gear on my team could be better as well, so that might make up for it if you can't use the same type of gear. Terminators I just have on some whatever I can for a tank, though I actually do feel like I could put some more damage on them, to be honest, and less tank. Wardens I have on whatever I could afford to put on him. It's not actually really that great, to be honest. But I was running out of Shadow Hall gear. Kim Hana is the operator I'm using here. A speed would probably be better. Crit damage the next best. Roll advantage is decent for Jane, and then for all your rangers taking on the defender ads. And then Blue Bridge is what I'm using because we summoned the boys. Obviously this isn't really helping my team all too much for the sockets. Mods for this run, I'm just running a safe 40% here. You could probably sit there and fit in 10% attack if you have better gear or a lot of anti-ranger gear to put on Sigma. But besides that, we're just going minus 50% HP, minus 40% A speed, and minus 40% skill haste. Alright, so we have our wonderful geared team here. Now, Horizon's actually pretty good on this boss. She only gets knocked back half the distance, and if she's in her rage mode, she can't be knocked back. So it's kind of helpful against Nerve when she uses her special at 70% to, well, I say special, but her passive, or whatever you want to call it, HP gate move to knock everybody back. Keeps Horizon right to the boss. So it's not necessary, and I believe even in this run she dies beforehand, but she gets sent back half distance and then immediately jumps to the boss. So that works out. And then of course we got A Sigma doing A Sigma things. Now, unfortunately that sniper hurts. Like that sniper really hurts. So Sigma even on tank gear kinda just gets blasted away. So we do need something in front so that Sigma can get to the boss. Now once she's at the boss, she's pretty safe. She doesn't really take much damage. The sniper immediately dies. So she's okay. After that, we're using Kurian and the fact that he gives Surefire to sit there and kill this tower whenever he specials. That really helps increase DPS for your ground units. Unfortunately, it only really works with him and his wardens that he just spawns, but we take with what we can get. Now, ideally, it would have been better if Kurian sat there and didn't ult all those ads, but it's on auto, so anyways, God, I hate that tower. Anyways, so yeah, so we got Daddy on the field. We're just sitting here waiting for a little bit more damage coming from the rest of the team here. Rivet's special actually does some good damage since she has anti-counter and this boss is a counter, so that does help out. The minute left, 40%, that's actually not bad. Rivet doing the most damage here because she's just pounding away on those ads. So for this team, rocking with Detroit, and then Kim Hana is the operator. Sigma, we're going to be using full CDR gear. Kurian, I'm using attack, going full out, much damage as possible. Attack anti-ranger would probably be good as 2, but neutral damage I kind of prefer on this fight, seeing as we're fighting a bunch of different types of monsters and not just the ranger for the boss. Sigma, on the other hand, since this is our main DPS dealer, I am actually fitting anti-ranger on them. Ifrit is just going to be on attack speed. Rivet I have on anti-defender attack speed. I want her clearing out those ads as quick as possible. Horizon, we're just going to go with your standard tank build. 50% crit res, and then just as much anti-ground res as possible. Alkalites I have on swift attack speed. They're not in too much danger being hit all that often, so I'm gonna sit here and have them shoot and heal as much as possible. Trask, I hate dying, so I put it on full tank gear. Of course, for the Latents on the ship, bunch of counter stuff that's completely useless this one time, but we have some some sniper and striker evasion, so decent subs here. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score. Honestly, if you were looking for a break, this is the boss to take that break. Of course, I'll be making a manual guide, so look forward to that. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you could join the Mage Army by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, and link will be in the description. And if you want to help support this channel, you can find a link in the description for that as well. As always, I will see you all next time.